Hello, everybody. Welcome to One Piece chapter 1111. Spoilers, and let me tell you, this chapter is so interesting and intriguing, and there's many things that I never expected. I'm sure you guys didn't expect them either. And also, Luffy does like ridiculous things. Like, I'll be honest, I think Luffy is too strong at this point. I mean, look, fighting an admiral and a Gorosei, one of the Gorosei at the same time is already it's an insane feat. And I think this has proven that Yonko are stronger than anything that the Marines have, any admirals. We've seen the gap at this point. If you got Luffy slapping around one Gorosei and one admiral at the same time, there's an argument to be made that a Yonko could take three admirals, right? Depending on which ones, because like Akainu he's got to be a top tier. Aokiji, he's a former admiral, but still, he's pretty strong. But like if you had, let's say, Kaido versus Fujitora, Green Bull, and Kizaru, I might be giving that to Kaido. I'm not even kidding, because they're gonna have to at least have advanced Conqueror's Haki to be able to damage that man. So this chapter, like I said, it's crazy. Let's get into it. All right, so these spoilers are from Pew Piece specifically. Well, I guess it's by Secret Sauce 2024. So thank you so much for the spoilers to both of you, Pew Piece and Secret Sauce 2024. All right, let's get started, guys. Come on, man. Like I said, this chapter is so hype. By the way, just to let you know, after this chapter, I believe for the mangaka of Dragon Ball, he recently passed away. Rest in peace to him. There'll be a 3-week break. It's unfortunate, but it's understandable. I don't want Oda getting sick, then we never get the finishing, I'd rather just wait it out and, make sure he takes proper breaks, because being a mangaka is very tiring. It's much harder than what people make it out to be, It's very stressful too, and they don't get paid a lot. Unless if you're Oda and you've like sold 500 million copies of your manga, and you've made like $200 million. At least that's his estimated net worth on Google if you search it up. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, starting off, one of the Gorosei members tries to force his way into the labo phase. It's probably Mars, St. Mars, or I think it's St. Marcus Mars. That's probably who's trying to get in there, because he was trying last chapter. So it would make sense if it was him. All right, next point. The fight between Rob Lucci and Zoro has ended, but it seems like Lucci is still standing, right? Which is pretty impressive, because it looked as if, at least in the manga panel in the last chapter, that blow hurt Lucci quite a lot. That's just what it looked like to me, So the fact that he's still standing after, one of Zoro's strongest moves, because it had Advanced Conqueror's coding on it too, is pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I give you props, Lucci, but I don't see Lucci fighting Zoro anymore. I think this fight is over. I think that was the finishing blow, and Lucci's gonna just be doing something else, whatever that may be. Alrighty. So the fight between Luffy and the Gorosei continues. So Luffy's still fighting I believe it's three of the Gorosei. The Giants asked Luffy about Nika, but Luffy still does not know what they're talking about. I'm hoping that in the future, Luffy learns about who he actually is, like what he is, who he is, and like the history and backstory behind it. But I feel like it's unlikely, because Luffy is kind of stupid, like let's keep it a band, like he's kind of dumb. But I'm really, really hoping that he like understands that he's Sun God Nika. That's really what I want, because I feel like it opens more possibilities for himself, and it lets him imagine more of what, he wants to do. It could be a new move. Maybe he's like, hey, Blackbeard's fruit can't affect me no more, and it's my imagination. Like, imagine if something like that existed, right? But I'm sure there's a limit to it, because Luffy's already broken as is, so if you add that into the equation, I think it just makes Luffy invincible. Anyway, let's get back to it. Warcury launches a gigantic wave of Haki, which confuses Luffy in a very funny way, which is, it's just Gear 5, man. That's how it is. All right, next point. The Giants block the Gorosei's attacks. Then Luffy creates a baseball bat and hits a home run with the Gorosei. If he did this, bro, That might be the most disrespectful thing I have ever seen, because it's not just one Gorosei. It seems as if it's all three of them, right? And if that's the case, it's even more disrespectful than the jump rope that he did to Kaido, just jump roping him, That is ridiculous. Like I said, Luffy's already been ridiculous, but if he's actually doing this to all three of them, RIP the Gorosei, bro. All right, next point. The Straw Hat Gang runs towards the Giants' ships to escape. So I'm guessing that's everybody that's kind of like on the, I guess, the ground of Egghead. Next point. The Marines try to comfort Kizaru, who tells them to let him rest. I feel bad for my boy just a little bit, right? But he should have attempted to stop being a cog in the machine like he was talking about, right? Because I think he's going to regret this for the rest of his life. And if the message does go through and it's the full message, I think that's when he'll probably regret it the most, He'll probably think to himself, what the fuck did I just do? Like, what am I doing, And then here's the most crazy part. This thing may be living or might have some living components in it or something, right? At the end of the chapter, the giant wakes up completely and his first words are, "I'm sorry, Joy Boy." Dude, that is ridiculous, right? It's just supposed to be, at least based on the outside appearance, it's just supposed to be a robot, right? But it seems as if this thing is like sorry, so it must have some type of emotion, right? And I'm just curious, like, now I want to learn more about this ancient robot that I'm sure by the end of this arc, to help Luffy and the Giants and the rest of his crew to escape, it will most likely be destroyed. And that'll be a shame. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys all have a wonderful night.